Welcome back to the channel. Next car lunch. What if your next family SUV could cut your fuel bill almost to zero, deliver strong everyday performance, and still feel premium without the premium price? The 2027 BYD Atto 3 could be one of the most interesting value EVs to watch. But there is one big question for American buyers. What will it really cost to own, insure, service, and eventually sell? Today, we're breaking down the money side of this electric SUV. The BYD Atto 3 is already an established electric crossover in several international markets, and the newer generation is pushing the formula further with improved range, charging technology, and updated battery technology. For 2027, the exact American specification and official US pricing should be treated as estimates until BYD confirms the final market configuration. The latest generation Atto 3, sold in China as the Yuan Plus, has been launched with prices starting around $16,600 equivalent in China, while international versions are positioned considerably higher because of taxes, shipping, regulations, and dealer costs. For our estimated American market discussion, a realistic target would be somewhere around $30,000 to $38,000 if BYD were to officially position a comparable 2027 Atto 3 in the United States. That is an estimate, not an announced US MSRP. And for American buyers, that distinction matters because tariffs, certification, distribution, and local incentives can dramatically change the final price. In Japan, the current BYD Atto 3 is officially listed from 4,180,000 yen including consumption tax. So a 2027 model with newer technology could reasonably sit around the 4.2 million yen to 4.8 million yen range depending on specification and market changes. Now let's talk about the biggest reason people consider an EV in the first place: running costs. The Atto 3 doesn't use gasoline. Instead, electricity powers the motor, meaning there is no traditional engine oil, spark plugs, fuel injectors, exhaust system, or conventional transmission to maintain. That can make everyday ownership considerably simpler. Real-world range will depend heavily on temperature, driving speed, air conditioning, traffic, tire pressure, and battery size. Current Atto 3 versions have been reported with real-world driving ranges that can vary widely depending on conditions, while official specifications differ by market. For an American driver, think of roughly 200 to 300 miles of practical everyday range depending on the version and conditions. Highway driving at 70 to 75 miles per hour will usually reduce range compared with slower city driving. But here's where the Atto 3 can become interesting financially. If you drive 12,000 miles a year, an EV can potentially save hundreds or even more than $1,000 annually compared with a gasoline crossover, depending on your local electricity and gasoline prices. Home charging can be particularly attractive because you're essentially turning your garage into your own fuel station. And maintenance can be another major advantage. Instead of regular oil changes and many engine-related services, EV maintenance is more focused on tires, brakes, suspension, cooling systems, cabin filters, software, and general inspections. That doesn't mean maintenance is free. Tires can still wear quickly, especially with heavier EV weight, and battery or high-voltage component repairs can be expensive outside warranty. That's why warranty coverage and local service support are extremely important before buying. For American buyers, this is actually one of the biggest questions surrounding the Atto 3. Even if the vehicle itself offers excellent value, you need access to authorized service, replacement parts, diagnostic equipment, and trained technicians. BYD's international presence is expanding, but availability in the United States is a different question. If the 2027 Atto 3 isn't officially sold and supported in your state, importing one could create major problems with registration, warranty coverage, insurance, and replacement parts. So if you're considering an overseas American market purchase, don't just look at the sticker price. Look at the complete ownership package. Insurance is another area where the Atto 3 could be interesting. EV insurance isn't automatically cheap. Repair costs, sensors, cameras, battery components, vehicle value, and local insurance policies can all affect premiums. A cheaper purchase price doesn't always mean cheaper insurance. And then there's depreciation. This could be the Atto 3's biggest financial weakness in America. Established American brands have large dealer networks and strong used car markets. A relatively new imported EV brand may experience faster depreciation if buyers are uncertain about parts, servicing, software support, or long-term battery replacement costs. That doesn't mean the battery will suddenly fail. BYD's Blade battery technology is one of the company's major selling points, and current Atto 3 versions use BYD battery technology designed around durability and safety. But used car buyers still care about warranty remaining, battery health, service history, and charging capability. Now let's see how it feels on the road. In the city, the Atto 3 makes a lot of sense. Electric torque arrives immediately, so pulling away from traffic lights feels smooth and quick. There are no gear changes, no engine vibration, and no waiting for the transmission to select the right gear. Its crossover size is also useful for American cities. It isn't a huge SUV, so parking lots, crowded streets, and narrow urban roads are easier to manage than with a large pickup or full-size SUV. On the highway, the experience is more relaxed. The low center of gravity from the battery helps the vehicle feel planted, while the electric motor provides easy acceleration when joining traffic or passing another vehicle. The Atto 3 isn't designed to be a heavy-duty work truck. But for small business owners, delivery users, contractors carrying lighter equipment, or families using the vehicle for daily transportation, the rear cargo area and flexible interior can make it surprisingly practical. Now compare it with something like the Chevrolet Equinox. The Equinox gives American buyers a huge advantage in dealer access, service availability, parts supply, and established resale value. But the Atto 3 fights back with electric running costs, simpler powertrain maintenance, strong standard technology, and potentially lower energy expenses. If the BYD can arrive in America at an aggressive price, that could become its biggest weapon. Imagine spending less on energy every week, performing fewer traditional maintenance services, driving quietly through traffic, and still getting a modern SUV with plenty of technology. But remember, the cheapest car to buy isn't always the cheapest car to own. For the 2027 BYD Atto 3, American buyers should check the final MSRP, federal and state EV incentives, charging costs, insurance quotes, warranty terms, parts availability, and expected resale value before making a decision. For overseas American buyers, especially those living or working in Japan or the Middle East, the calculation can be different. Local taxes, charging infrastructure, import duties, dealership support, and climate conditions can dramatically change the ownership experience. Overall, the 2027 BYD Atto 3 could be a fascinating value proposition if BYD brings the latest technology to more markets at an aggressive price. It isn't a replacement for a heavy-duty pickup, and it doesn't have the established American dealer network of Chevrolet, Ford, or Toyota. But for city driving, commuting, family transportation, and cost-conscious daily use, its electric powertrain could make a lot of financial sense. The biggest opportunity is simple: low energy cost, lower routine maintenance, compact dimensions, and modern EV technology. The biggest risk is equally simple: support, resale value, insurance, and parts availability in markets where BYD doesn't have a full official network. So would you buy a 2027 BYD Atto 3 if it reached America for around $30,000 to $38,000? Or would you stay with an established American SUV? Let us know your answer in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, hit the like button, subscribe to Next Car Lunch, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our upcoming car prices, EV reviews, ownership cost breakdowns, and the latest vehicle updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.